Clutch Trucker is filmed before a live studio audience. Right, Rusty? He's never this quiet until I do these. Okay, this is the quick and dirty airline fix repair part 2. This one, I'm giving away the ending, but it is successful and it goes about as fast as it should have gone. First off, to recap, I'll show you the parts again, showing part of the previous video. For a chunk of this airline, I'm probably just going to use about half of this. Alright, this goes up into the manifold, and then I'm going to run that airline, this new airline, into that, and then I'm going to cut the old airline where it went up into that manifold and use the quick connect on this end to join it back to the one that's feeding it up there. As you watch this, you'll find out the parts that I showed you, they are quick connects, but they turn out to not be quick release. I had to kind of dig one out of the of one of the ends of one of the quick connect pieces. So I just went to the FITA Freightliner over here just south of Cincinnati in Walton, Kentucky, and bought the parts again. They cost me less this time, which was nice. And I'll talk about that coming up later. But anyway, so it's just easier to cut everything off and start over, and that's what I'm doing in this video. Okay, so I've started again, and up there in the back, it's hard for me to get the camera to see it, but it's that one right there. Okay, that's the angle connector coming out of the air manifold. I already pulled the old one off, cut the line going into it because I could not get that quick release to release. But so I went ahead and pulled that off, and I've put the new one on, and I tightened it down a lot harder this time. So hopefully that should stop that air leak at the threads where I had the problem last time. The rest of the line is down here. I've just kind of tucked it down here out of the way. And I'm going to have to cut off this quick connect because I can't seem to get these to release either. So they're quick connect, but they're not quick release. So I'm here at the FITA where I bought the extra parts so I could do it again. And the parts were very different prices. I'll talk about that a little bit later coming up. Okay, I've now cut the quick connect off the other end of the main line that was already there. Now I'm going to put a new quick connect on that with some new line and join that together with the new angle piece coming down there. First I'm going to put some new line into that angle piece, some extra length running down, then I'll join together the quick connect. Okay, so now I've got my new black line coming out of my new angle piece. I was able to get that one torqued in there good enough this time. So they only had black line, they didn't have the green, same size line. Got that in there. It goes down here. Can't seem to get the camera at the right angle. All right, there's the top of my green line and my black line. I'm holding it. Right there's the end of it, so I'm going to need to trim some of that, not too much. I can always push some of the other line down to make these match. Okay, so we're going to try that quick connect this time. Here's my quick connect from the black line to my green line. Okay, now got that connected, and it's hiding behind that red line right there. So you can kind of see it. See, there it is. There's the fitting black line, quick connect, green line, all shoved together. And then of course my black line fitting up to my angle going into the air manifold. Now that should have taken care of it. Now I'm going to start the engine up, rebuild the air. Okay, as you can see, my air levels, 2 air gauges there, are at the bottom. Now we're going to start the engine and see what happens. Okay, as you can see, the air built up fairly quickly, which is a pretty good sign. So maybe I actually got it done right this time. Now, what's funny is this time the entire repair, from start to finish, from taking out that old angled one to putting the new one on, tightening it down, putting the new airline on, and getting it connected with the old airline, took probably 15 minutes. That's what it should have taken the first time. But a lot of times these repairs are a matter of getting to it, getting access to it. I had to cut a whole bunch of zip ties out of the way last time, try to get this wiring harness out of the way so I could do the repair, and was actually able to do it this time. So that seems to have done it. I'll know if it's a really good seal or not once I shut the engine down again and see how quickly the air depletes. Hopefully that's done it. So in a few minutes here, after it's completely built up, I'm going to shut it down. I'll take the camera back out there, and we'll see if we hear any air leaks once the engine's back off again. Okay, we've shut the engine off. Now we're going to see if we hear any air leaks and see if I actually was successful at doing the repair this time. Then I'm going to take some more zip ties and kind of tighten everything up again just to make sure everything doesn't rub and stays where it should. All right, so we got a truck going by right now here at the FIDA. So we'll take a look and see if we hear any air leaks. I want to mention one thing I love about my Coronado is you can see how much space you have between the cab and the wheel and everything when you have the engine open. I mean, I'm a big guy, and yet I can stand right in there between the wheel and everything and get to all this stuff that I was repairing. See, there are all the airlines coming up. There's a kind of a further away shot. You can see them all coming up, and they go into that air manifold on the firewall there below the coolant tank. That's the one thing I don't like about this truck, is where that coolant tank is. It's a little hard to get to fill up. I would prefer it to be up here on top of the radiator, but that's all right. Everything else is really handy on this truck. So let's see if we hear any leaks. Okay, we're looking at, you see that red line going up into that junction? The green one that I just repaired is right behind it. It's actually a black line now. Oh, that's not the one. Okay, there it is. There's the red line. It's right behind that red line in the middle, okay? It's this black line behind it, which I'm kind of pointing, it's just, literally, it's right behind it. You just can't really see it. You can see my thumb on it right there. Okay, there's the junction going up, and if you follow my thumb down, there's the new quick connect into the green line, okay, right there in the middle. Okay, right there. So there's my new junction repair. Then it goes up into that one, and we listen carefully. What do we hear? Nothing. Nothing. Yay, success. So we have successfully repaired that. No air leaking now. That's how you do a quick and dirty airline repair. That's the way it should have been the first time. Should have only taken 15 minutes, but it was a matter of access and then trying to get the old one off, and that's what made it such a hard repair. This time I knew exactly what I was doing, so that made it a little bit easier. So hopefully this will help some of you out. Okay, you can see it's all back in order. You're still not hearing no air leaks. And you can see right there, I don't know why it's not focusing very well. I put on some zip ties, one around the whole bundle, one around this little bundle that goes over the top of this one here, so that'll keep it from dropping, and one between those two to keep this one from sliding down. The reason I'm doing that is I noticed when I was doing this repair, I felt these lines, the back of these. See, there's this big bar right here. These lines were rubbing on that bar. That could be trouble. That could cause an air leak right there. So let's try to bundle them up and keep them out of the way so they don't get chafed and break as well. So it's another thing you can do while you're doing some basic maintenance on your truck. Look for other issues that could be a problem in the future, and right there was one I found. So just some little zip ties, boop, 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 and we're gonna keep that from being an issue later on. That's something you should always carry in your tool bag. I have a bag right here full of various sizes of zip lines. See, 150 pieces. Zip lines can save your butt many times as a owner-operator and just as a driver in general. Here's my lovely tool bag. This is from Duluth Trading Company. Great little tool bag. Fits under my passenger side box. And I've got lots of stuff in there. There's over here my famous box of shrink tubing. But I got my torch down in there, and it holds pretty much all the tools I need for the truck right there. Handy little bag. That's a great one right there from Duluth Trading Company. Okay, so you can see everything went relatively well that second time. Downside is I had to cut off all the parts again. because as I have now discovered, and as I mentioned earlier a couple of times, those are quick connects. They're obviously not quick releases. Because like I said, when I tried it the first time, I had to spend an hour digging the tube out of one side of that double-ended quick connect. So they're just obviously not made to release them, which is good, because that means once you put them together, they're going to have a real good seal and going to work well for you. I did discover part of the reason I think the parts were such difference in price, because when I bought the parts from Truck Country, like I said, they did not charge me for the tube, but the elbow unit, or the angled one that goes up to the manifold, they charged $10.20, okay? FIDA Freightliner, for the elbow unit, charged $7.14. Not too bad. They were cheaper, but fairly similar. Why the double-ended connector from Truck Country was $50.26, which I thought was excessive, and from FIDA was only $19.95. Big difference. Over $30 more for that one little part. Now, FIDA did charge me for the tube, but I asked for like over 3 feet, and they gave me like 5. And that was only $2.90 for the tubing, and they gave me a whole bunch. So I have a whole bunch of extra for future repairs. But anyway, I was looking at the part numbers, and they vary just a little bit between Freightliners. But what I think I've discovered is Truck Country put the wrong part number down for that double-ended union piece that they were charging me $50 for, because that number is nowhere near the number for the $19 one I got from FIDA. However, the angled elbow ones are almost exactly the same for the part number. And part numbers are generally pretty much the same, one Freightliner to another. So I think Truck Country, you overcharged me, baby, yeah. So you bet your kahoonies I'm going to be getting on the phone with you, and I still have that part. So if I need to bring it back to you and say, all right, look this up again, I want proof that this matches this number, because I think they overcharged me by 30 bucks. So that means the $100 I spent overall in buying the parts twice really should have only been about $70. As I said before, if I had gone to a Freightliner, God forbid you can get into one to get something like that done, would have been a day, 2 days, maybe downtime. Plus, they would have charged diagnostic, they would have charged the parts, they would have charged labor to put it in, they would have charged shop fees, blah, 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 blah. Still would have been probably close to $300, because honestly, drivers, when have you ever gotten into and out of a Freightliner dealership for any kind of repair less than 300 bucks? It almost never happens. It's usually $1,000 or more. So I still, even spending $100 and doing it myself twice, I think still saved some money. Plus, I got it done on my own time, on my own schedule, and it's fixed. There you go. Beautiful thing. All right, so that's going to wrap up the successful version of the quick and dirty airline repair video. The successful version. Gotta love it when things work out, all right? Here I am in Columbia, New Jersey. Going to deliver on Long Island tomorrow, early in the morning. Long Island, New York, baby. I don't love going to Long Island, but this load paid really, really well, so I took it. So that's what I'm doing, and so I'll be leaving late tonight and going to deliver there on Long Island. The trick will be getting back out. That's always the trick. So anyway, hey, thanks so much for tuning in again to the Clutch Trucker channel. Please subscribe. I would like to bump that subscribers up. I'm still stuck at 16, so please subscribe. Comment if you would like. Love to hear your comments on any of this stuff, drivers. Ring the bell, sniff the magic YouTube fairy dust. As always, Clutch out.